So the other day I was driving, got a huge hesitation, and I go and my check engine light's on. So I got my own OBD2 scanner I've been having for a few years. You know, just consider why not buying a scanner. Just check codes on myself. So I scanned the code and it's P0132. And what kind of sucks about this though, that I'm kind of nervous about, is that everybody who has a P0132 is an O2 sensor, voltage too high, but it's a reoccurring problem. Like, you'll keep getting it over and over and over. And I've actually replaced my O2 sensor probably twice already from another code, but this is my first P0132. So I'm just gonna replace it with a brand new Denso, which is recommended for Japanese cars, because I was running a Bosch, which is German, and Bosch sensors on a Japanese car, they just don't run right. Like, it'll run, but it wouldn't run optimal. So it's always good to use a Denso on a Japanese, on a an Asian car. So we're gonna do a quick little change of this O2 sensor, and I'm not gonna clear the code. I'm gonna see if the code goes off on its own by the self scan that it does, and hopefully this cures the problem, because damn, I hate having issues. First time fit, genuine Denso. Always use these with the proper connector. Splicing and butt connectors and all that stuff, like, it works, but it's always best just to get an OE type fit, because when you do all that butt connector stuff, like, this sensor has to read the oxygen, and there's the heater wires, and there's the sensor, and then there's the ground and all that stuff has to be in the right voltage. So if you use a butt connector for these type, or or some type of other quick connect, you might not get a good reading. I mean, you will not get a negative effect, you'll just not get the optimal performance of it, of your might affect the air fuel ratio, fuel economy and stuff like that. First thing you're going to want to do is disconnect the negative power lead to your battery. If you have the factory radio in your car, you're going to want to make sure you have the radio code, because once you disconnect the battery, you will lose the radio for the anti-theft system that they put in radios. But I have an aftermarket radio, so I don't really care. Alright, so that's the oxygen sensor, and right there's the connector. First thing you want to do is disconnect the connector, get a crescent wrench, and undo this, untighten it. By the time you get it untightened, it shouldn't be too difficult to take off. You'll be able to take it off by hand as soon as you get it untightened. So I'm going to take off the connector and then take off the O2, or untighten the O2. Alright, so I got the O2 disconnected, and then now I'm just going to get a crescent wrench and take this off. Alright, so I got the O2 sensor loose, so I'm just going to spin it off. I'm not going to be using this O2 sensor anymore, so I don't really care if I mess it up. For your new O2 sensor, when you install your new O2 sensor, make sure you don't touch this part. You want to make sure that this right here, hold up, freaking autofocus. Yeah, you want to make sure that this right here is nice and clean, and you don't want to get any oil or debris on this, because this is to sense the gases going inside here, and if you have anything on here, it will make it read wrong or mess up the sensor. So I'm gonna go wash my hands and take off the gloves and everything and install a new sensor. Okay, so that's the brand new O2 sensor in there, tightened by hand, and then you would want to just get the crescent wrench and snug it down, but don't kill it, because you could pull the thread and stuff like that, because it's a real sensitive metal. So just snug it down and make sure the crush washer right there is snugly in, and then you're gonna want to connect it. Connect those two connectors together, and you have it. And a little tip too: use a zip tie, a JDM zip tie right there, to make sure that the wires are not touching anything, especially possibly the cat the flange or this piping right here, because it'll end up fraying or chafing or whatever, and or burning it. You don't want anything to happen to this O2 sensor. So I got it connected, put it to the proper bracket where it belongs, and I snugly put this down. I snugly tightened it, and don't kill it, just do it softly. And yeah, about probably like 10 pounds, 15 pounds, and you should be good. So I'm gonna go start the car, plug the battery, start the car, and let's see if it runs good. Alright, so I'm gonna start the car, and let's see if it's all good. Check engine light went back off. Kind of hesitated there, but oh, it's pretty good. Well, I'm gonna do a little follow-up on this, and let's just see if it stays off. Like I said previously, that the P0132 is a reoccurring code. Like, I heard that it's something to do with the ECU that's malfunctioning, and then people have to like replace the computer and stuff like that. So we'll just see if this happens again. Hopefully not. But yeah, so if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and comment below. If you have any questions, just ask, automotive or whatever you want to know about the car, just let me know. So yeah, take it easy.